my young friends, ladies and gentlemen, I heartily welcome you to this great valedictory function. This is the 8th Parliament, and I have attended each one of these, and I can tell you it keeps on getting better and better as India keeps on getting better and better. As this Yuva Shakti, the power of young people, the students, keeps on getting better and stronger, so that India can have its position in the Committee of Nations, which will be right up there, right at the top. I've been given 10 minutes, and I asked Rahul, what should I speak on? So Rahul reminded me, he said, sir, you, on 1st of January this year, you completed 75 years. It has been a long journey. So within 10 minutes, can you tell all our young friends on 5 mantras that have worked for you? So that's what I'm going to do. I always follow what Rahul asked me to do. So here I am. I think the 5 mantras that have helped me in my life, and I hope they will help you, are as follows. First, your aspirations are your possibilities. So keep the aspirations high. If you aim at Everest, you might reach Kanchenjunga. But if you just aim at Kanchenjunga, you may not even reach Hanuman Tekadi. So keep them high. That's very important. One of the lessons I learned is that many times we say, you know, we have scarcity in India, scarcity of resources. But may I tell you something? Scarcity and aspiration is a great combination, by the way. I remember coming back, and each of those mantras I will illustrate with a brief example from my own life. Because there is no use telling you about something by reading other books of other people's life. One should talk about one's own life. I remember coming back in 1976 as a young man, just 32, on a princely salary of 2,100 rupees because the nation was giving a call to the young people, come back and build the new India of our dreams. And I remember the conditions at that time. You know, to buy an equipment, it took me 2 years because we didn't have foreign exchange, digitally clearance, not manufactured in India, clearance, and whole range of other things, basically. All right, journals used to come by sea mail, 4 months. So we were out of competition even before we started. 32K was a big memory. Can you just imagine the conditions under which we actually worked? Would have meant small targets as far as science is concerned? No. We said it is not the size of the budget that matters, it is the size of the idea that matters. And we had high ideas. You know, we went for some of the toughest scientific challenges. You know, in science, the highest prize that you get is Nobel Prize, and the second highest is Fellowship of Royal Society, where you have the honor of signing in the same book where Newton has signed. That work that we did under that scarcity got me elected as a Fellow of Royal Society, and I could sign in that same book. So the first lesson is, low budget does not mean low aspiration. Low budget has to go with high aspirations, high ideas. What is the second lesson? Yes, you can keep high aspirations. But how do you achieve those aspirations? And that is where hard work comes in. Like instant coffee, there is no instant success. I'm 75, but I can assure you, even today, I work 24/7. All my life, I work 24/7, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, and I will continue to do so till I breathe my last. But at the same time, I want to tell you that work hard in silence. Let success speak all the noise. Okay? What is the third lesson I want to communicate? You can do anything, but not everything. So, you have to choose, you have to focus. On focus, let me tell you a little story which is of course known in Maharashtra, but we have people from all over. You know, I went to a very poor school because my mother could not gather 21 rupees that were needed for admission to a good school in time. But that poor school had rich teachers. And one of them was Principal Bhave, who taught us physics. And I remember he showing us an experiment where he took us out into the sun. He had this convex lens in his hand, a piece of paper. He moved the convex lens up and down, and there was a bright spot. And when the bright spot came, he held it like that and the paper burned. And for some reason he turned to me and he said, Mashelkar, like this if you focus, you can burn anything, you can achieve anything in the world. That was an inspiring moment. And that is where I said, science is so powerful, I must become a scientist. But it taught me a lesson that focus and you can achieve. You please focus and you will find that you will achieve your objective. The fourth one, I would say there is no limit to human endurance. There is no limit to human achievement. You know, look at Mount Everest. Until 1953, people thought it is impossible to climb. And in 1953, Tenzing Norgay and Edmund Hillary climbed it. And you know what has happened after that? Kani Rita Sherpa has climbed it not once, not twice, not 5 times, 21 times. The same thing with Appa Sherpa. The same thing with Purvatashi Sherpa. So you will say, oh, you are giving examples of Sherpas. What about ordinary people? You know who have climbed it? 80-year-old Yulchiro Moara. 80-year-old. And the youngest boy, 13-year-old Jordan Romero. So you will say you are giving all examples from outside, as usual. Tell us about India, and I'm very proud to tell you, a 13-year-old young girl, Malvat Purna, did it just recently. Can you just imagine? That is the spirit, basically. So there are no limits, basically. You know? And while doing so, you will fail. But you have to get up and try again. I have a different definition of fail for you that I want you to take home, by the way. FAIL, first attempt in learning. FAIL, first attempt in learning. Please change the definition and you will see a different word. So that is that. The fifth one is about India. My India. India matters to me. I want to matter to India more. You know, India is changing very dramatically. I remember I'm a chairman of National Innovation Foundation who looks at grassroots innovations. Our basic dictum is 1.35 billion Indians does not mean 1.35 billion mouths. There are 1.35 billion minds. Okay? What it means is that everyone is someone. What it means is that minds on the margin are not marginal minds. Everybody can create. And I remember chairing a committee where there was this Chief Innovation Officer selection. And I saw the CV. The CV said he's expert in branding. I said, oh, can you brand my India? So he was puzzled because he had branded a refrigerator, he had branded a car. How do you brand a nation? So I said, I'll give you a hint. America brands itself as a land of opportunity. Instant came his reply, yes sir, India is a land of ideas. Okay? Now here is the good news and bad news. India is a land of ideas, but America they consider as a land of opportunity. I'm sorry, that is changing now. India is not just a land of ideas, India is a land of opportunity today. And I'm seeing that among the young people. I interact with young people very closely. So I will end my speech by giving you in 1 minute the recent story. I was giving a talk to the young people. You know what was the title of my talk? Satyam Shivam Sundaram. I had said Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft. Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google. So I said Satyam Shivam Sundaram, there is a vacancy on Shiva. Maybe one of you can occupy that by becoming CEO of Apple. You know, a young man got up. Very politely he said, "Sir, I don't think you understand us." I said, "Why? What happened?" He said, "Sir, your generation, your only idea was to go to US somehow. The next generation, they had the ambition to get a job either in Microsoft or Google or such top companies. The following generation, their ambition was even higher, to become the CEO of Microsoft and Google." He said, "No, that is not our ambition. We want to create our own Microsofts, our own Google here in India." That gives me the confidence. My confidence, people call me, by the way, dangerous optimist, Durdam mein Ashavadi. Okay, and I have reasons to become such a dangerous optimist, and that is because of something I always repeat. You know, our former Prime Minister, our most beloved former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee used to say, India's future is in IT. IT as in information technology. I have always said, India's future is in IT, but not as in information technology, but in Indian talent. That is all of you. Thank you very much.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया डॉक्टर माशेलकर। और आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा, भारत सिर्फ और सिर्फ विचारों का ही नहीं, अवसरों का भी देश है। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। और अब हमारे बीच एक और ऊर्जावान व्यक्तित्व, जो अपने छात्रों को शिक्षित तो करते ही हैं, साथ ही उन्हें प्रकाशित और एनलाइटन भी करते हैं, जाने माने शिक्षाविद और यूनेस्को चेयर होल्डर प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर विश्वनाथ डी करार जी, संस्थापक प्रेसिडेंट MIT वर्ल्ड पीस यूनिवर्सिटी। जोरदार तालियों के साथ उनका अभिनंदन करते हुए हमें संबोधित करने के लिए आमंत्रित करते हैं।
Friends, what a good fortune for all of us that on this occasion of the 8th Indian Students' Parliament, Bharatiya Chhatra Sansad, we have such eminent personalities on the dais. The former President of India, Honorable Srimati Pratibha Devi Patil, one of the most decent and dignified personality in the field of politics, a professor of particle physics, a person who has understood what is the role of science and spiritual component of life and what Mother India stands for. भारतीय संस्कृति, परंपरा और तत्वज्ञान के बड़े ज्ञानी ऐसे आदरणीय मुरली मनोहर जोशी जी, and friends, another very unique event taking place in this Pandal, in this Bharatiya Chhatra Sansad. He is one of the most respected Chief Ministers of India, आदर्श मुख्यमंत्री के नाते Sri Naveen Patnaik Sahab. His presence has truly added to the grace and beauty of this unique parliament. मैं आभारी हूं नवीन पटनायक साहब आपका, मुरली मनोहर जोशी जी आपका, और हमारी प्रतिभा देवी पाटिल, the former President of India. Friends, I can only say that I have been telling you again and again, but just now you have heard the words of wisdom and a very unique message from our Chairman of Scientific Advisory Council, a prerna srot for Bharatiya Chhatra Sansad, Bharatiya Asmita Puraskar, one of the leading scientists of India, who had the fortune of signing the book of the Royal Society of London next to Isaac Newton. What more fortune we need to have? We have another gentleman, I must make a mention, the Param supercomputer scientist Dr. Vijay Bhatkar, who has been guiding us, and I can see the response. And friends, I can only say that when I have been telling you since first day, when you look at the two statues of Mahatma Gandhi and Gautam Buddha, and at the center, we have another unique statue of the great noble son of India, Swami Vivekananda. मैं इतना ही कहूंगा कि when you will be leaving the portals of this MIT World Peace University today or tomorrow, please remember what ideals this institution is trying to struggle for, strive for. एक ही बात है, भारतीय अस्मिता जगाना का एक प्रयास है. याद दिलाने की बात है, मैकॉले से लेके बहुत लोगों ने प्रयास किया, we the Indians should forget our traditions and culture. The oldest traditions, starting with the words of wisdom of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. One word is enough. There have been some words which have been very misleading, and some wrong inference was drawn by the people, like the words of Aham Brahmasmi.